This is one of my first games in which I play with another person, or in this case people. Paladyne and the Thebattlemaster8 will be joining me this game, so if you hear a voice different than mine, it's probably one of them. We wait for the game to start for several minutes, resulting in the partially full game that you see here. We appear to have an advantage in overall tiers, but the enemy team has more short-term damage potential because of their destroyers.
That better? Oh, I have the tilde set for the permanent mute, and then I have tab as my talk button, and I hit the wrong one.
I start the match by heading towards Paladyne, who is our only battleship. The Battlemaster8, however, heads west to help shore up that flank. I begin to fire on a long-distance target, the high rate of fire of the St. Louis allowing me to quickly zero in on the target. The enemy team takes an early lead as we lose 2 ships to torpedoes. Continuing to pump shells into the enemy cruiser, both ships now shadow each other, stubbornly firing into their adversary. The enemy ship is taking the brunt of the attack, however, and soon succumbs to the relentless fire.
Enemy cruiser.
I don't know how good I'm going to be this game, guys. I'm getting 200 pings. This is what it's been doing to me all night. I'll be fine for 2 or 3 games, and then I'll have a game where it's just one big lag fest.
Catching an enemy cruiser seemingly unaware, I begin to fire shells into him from long range, getting multiple hits and citadel penetrations. Noticing that the enemy St. Louis is engaging our battleship, I begin to fire. When he notices my incoming fire, he too returns fire and we begin to shoot devastating salvos at each other.
I'm just body armor for you two this game, I guess.
With the loss of the enemy St. Louis, I turn my focus to an enemy destroyer who has beached himself. The shells deal damage, resetting the cap and giving me the high caliber award. While taking fire from another direction, I continue to shoot at the enemy destroyer. His torpedoes come dangerously close, but fortunately do not hit. The game is now tied, but our base is being captured and the St. Louis is beginning to take heavy damage. The St. Louis gets set on fire with no repair crew able to extinguish it for over a minute, but my continued salvo fire obliterates the enemy cruiser. I have no time to waste, however, as the destroyer begins to close in on me.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Well, I'm here, just jammed up on an island.
I avoid the first spread of torpedoes, but the second spread is right on target. Turning to avoid the latest spread, I continue to fire shell after shell into the target.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Turning, I see the final enemy target charging at us from behind. I fire a few shells that reset the cap and deal damage, but the enemy cruiser explodes in a giant fireball in front of me. The enemy destroyer turns and continues to close the distance, but I fire even after the target disappears in the smoke, high explosive shells ending his pursuit.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
I got 900.
With 5 kills out of 7 enemy players, a Confederate and high caliber achievement, the St. Louis definitely lived up to its potential this game. Thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please click subscribe below.